So Metal Warriors, here we are again. Welcome to Iron Madness. Today our special guest is Elina Siirala from Leaf Size. This is incredible. So welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Fine, fine. Really looking forward for this moment for today. So let's start. And
Awesome.
I wanted to start in case someone doesn't know, but with an introduction. I want you to introduce yourself, to tell them who are you, who is Elina Siirala. So please go ahead.
Oh, wow. So that's like next hour. No, I'm kidding. So I'm Elina Siirala from Leaves Eyes. I'm the singer of Leaves Eyes, and also maybe someone know me from Angel Nation, also my other band. And I'm originally from Finland, lived in UK, London for 10 years, and now I live in Germany. And we have our third album with me, Midst of Fate, coming out soon. So that's why we're here.
Yes, we will talk about, of course. And so um, before getting into the album and music, I wanted to know more about you. So the first question is, how and why did you start listening to metal music?
Well, actually, it was more when I moved to London. So back in 2008, once I finished my degree in Helsinki, I decided to move to London to study a little bit more. And during that year, I was really, really excited about the rock module that we have. So I loved performing rock on stage. And that year kind of led into me then later starting my own band, and through that meeting a lot of people in the scene. So they introduced me to this metal scene in London. So we went out and I got more and more immersed into this one. And yeah, I started to listen more of the metal. When I was a kid, I used to listen more, let's say, Queen, and also some Kiss. My brother was a huge fan of Kiss and stuff like that. So not really like I wouldn't say metal so much, but yeah, some rock as well, like that.
Yeah, totally fine. Okay, nice start, of course. And now, yeah, sure. Let's talk about Midst of Fate, your upcoming album, new album for Leaf Size that will be released on March 22nd, if I'm right. And we are really looking forward for it. Everyone, all the fans, of course. And you have released 3 singles, if I'm not wrong, for now, and probably each one different from each other. So I wanted first of all you to explain a bit of how can we expect what can we expect about this upcoming album, this upcoming Midst of Fate.
Well, it is basically a little bit of a step away from the historical side of the Norse mythology and like historical figures, like the last Viking, for example. And
Yes.
on this album, we're exploring more of this mystical and magical side of things, whether it's objects or goddesses or
Yeah.
Thor's hammer or whatever. So so yeah, that's kind of what you can expect. It's a very versatile album, I would say. There's a lot of different kind of songs, very exciting topics, and as you said, also these 3 singles we released, also very different from each other. So you can already hear that there's a lot of different angles
Yes.
musically as well.
Yes, and so I was thinking about and recording, of course, the new album, that people has always or almost always placed Leaf Size into a folk metal Viking metal band, but probably that was more the first Leaf Size, and I think nowadays you're in a more open way. I mean, you are really symphonic. You are in a really symphonic metal mood, probably, and we can see it in those 3 singles that I talk about. We have Forged by
First by
Fire, yeah, but then we have Who Wants to Live Forever and In the Realm of Dark Ways. These two are pure melody, pure mystic and magic that you were talking about. So this symphonic part, it's because of you, I don't know, but your voice, your kind of lyrically opera voice, and your weight in composition, which I guess it would have been are really more important. So it is because of you this, or not? Probably not.
Well, I mean, it's always very interesting how people perceive, the songs, what they hear. Someone commented also that it seems to be a transition into more folk, emphasis, and that's interesting because for me, this album is maybe a bit more symphonic emphasis
Yeah.
actually. It has a bit less folky elements, even though we have still nickel harpa and there's all these typical Leaves Eyes sound is still there, which of course we wanted to have. But we wanted to also, have a little bit different sound. And because we have absolutely fantastic orchestrations from Jonah, so, they are shining, of course, also in the songs. It's kind of like a marriage between everything again. And with my voice also being able to do more with my voice. So, yeah, I kind of see what you mean, that it's been like a little bit of a difference again from I mean, of course they have had gothic elements, folky elements, symphonic elements. It's always been there, but it's just that maybe this album has a little bit more emphasis on certain things than the previous ones.
Now let's talk about live music. You are going on tour in a few. You're going on a European tour, but more specifically, you're coming here to Spain. So about this tour, what can we expect? What can you tell us about? Because I guess, of course, we will listen and we want to listen this new music from Leaves Eyes and from Myths of Fate.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, with our last album, The Last Viking, the pandemic hit us like right when it was released. So we were not really able to tour with that album at all. So now this is kind of like bringing both albums on tour, which is kind of cool. We have a lot of new songs to play live, so it will be exciting for us and for people as well. So yeah, you can expect a lot of songs, new songs from both of those albums.
Good.
And a great metal party. It will be really, really nice to be back on the road.
Yeah, that's for sure. And as you said, you couldn't came or you couldn't tour because of the pandemic with the last album. And I was reading and looking about, and the last time you have been here was in 2018 with Camelot and Opera Magna. I don't know if you remember. That was
I do.
Quite long ago, and I remember that because I was there, but I was very little, like 10 years more or less. But it was really shocking for me because you did an absolutely fantastic show with visually also. I mean, with shields, with flags. It was like a headlining show. And now 2024, a lot of years later, but you're coming as a headliner. So I guess you will play more time. That it's something really to appreciate. And I don't know if you will still do that fantastic show that you did.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously we will play longer for sure since we're the headliner. And it's always depends on the like parameters that we have. Obviously, we can't really bring always a super huge show. What we could do now in Wacken, for example, that was very big production. So we can't bring Viking ship on the stage, but there's always going to be some elements, of course, and Alex will, I'm sure, bring some of his Viking gear with him, and yeah, let's see what he comes up with that.
Fantastic.
By the lady of distinction, in the sun, we rolling hard, serpents to the blood. Sing, come on!
Okay, so a little break to again know more about you. I have a question here to know which band or artist would you like to collaborate with to make a song, make an album, and it can be any artist in the world.
Oh, this is always so difficult. It's it's so difficult to choose. In a way, I think I always say it would be super fun to to just for a funny thing to do something with Steel Panther.
Oh, yes.
I also love the singer. I think his voice is great. But of course, there's a lot of other. I mean, I would have loved to have sang with Freddie Mercury, but obviously he's not here. Jimmy Jameson, all these great singers. Why do they have to be gone? But of course, there's a fantastic, singers and bands all over. I also got to be on stage with Battle Beast on the US tour already. It was really fun, and we did a duet with Clementine from Visions of Atlantis.
Yes.
So I hope there will be more. I mean, in a way, it would be nice to maybe also pair with a guy, because I never really had a duet with a male voice before. So that might be interesting.
You said a lot of incredible and amazing names, singers. Okay, so again, to know more about you, more or less, these ones, what was the last concert you went paying the ticket?
Oh, well, oh gosh. I have to really think, because during the pandemic, I also didn't really go to concerts much. I went to see Kissing Dynamite. They were playing here, but I didn't pay for the ticket.
It doesn't
And then, of
count.
course, yeah, the 70,000 tons. Now I also saw some bands. Where would I have paid the ticket? Oh my God. It might have been even ages ago, seeing Steel Panther in London. I mean, there I definitely paid, but that's like, there must be another one. Sorry, my brain just can't think now.
No, it's fine. Nowadays, Angel Nation, in case someone doesn't know, it is your band. You're still in the band, and the band is still active. So you released an album in 2022, and I wanted to know how is the manage of being part of two bands that are active, both of them, and which one is the main project for you? I guess probably Live Size is more dependent. I mean, it needs to work more on it, I think, but you're on two projects, so you will know better than me, of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obviously two totally different things, I would say.
Yeah.
Angel Nation is something, I started already back in 2011. It was something I started when I realized, okay, I want to write something that I feel like I can sing, not knowing really anything about this whole metal scene or female-fronted metal scene or anything like that. So I just started writing things and it kind of snowballed in a way that it then led me joining Leaves Eyes, also that path. So, it's a really, really important part of my life. And also for me, creatively, I love, of course, writing music as well. And it's kind of like my baby in a way.
Yeah.
And we had our third album out already. Wow, almost 2 years ago. That's crazy. And of course, because I moved out of London, and there was Brexit, there was pandemic, so it was quite tough, keeping it up with all the costs going so much up. We did our best. We did some gigs after the album and stuff, but now then I had to, I was concentrating more on Lee's Size now, making this album, and I don't want to force things. So I'm very grateful for everything we did with that band, and now we have to see, okay, what the future brings. And it's always going to be there, and we'll see if I still pick it up and if we want to do something in the future.
So the main project will be probably Live Size right now, but Angel Nation is there, so it's on hold. I mean, and you're still working on it, so that's fine.
I would say like that. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a, I'm just one person, so I can't, rip myself or stretch myself too thin, so I don't get exhausted with everything. So I have to kind of prioritize a little bit what I'm doing at the time.
Mhm. And so, returning to Mist of Fate, your upcoming album, which song would be your personal recommendation, the one you like the most from Mist of Fate, from the upcoming album, of course?
Um, well, I have to say, I'm a little bit biased on this because I wrote one song for the album, and it's a very personal song.
Mhm.
It was actually written after Alex's mom's funeral. I came
Okay.
home 2 years ago, and out of this feeling, I wrote this song. And when I showed the raw demo to Alex, I didn't
Mhm.
even tell him back then what it was about, but he was instantly very, very interested in the
Yeah.
song and the way it was then worked. You know, the like a full band version. I really love how it turned out. It's maybe a little bit different from the other songs on the album.
Fine.
So it has a little bit of this, let's say, yeah, rawness, and it's a little bit simple, more simple,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
in a raw way. So, and of course, it's emotionally very, very charged
Yeah.
song. And I can reveal that there will be actually a music video coming very soon for that song.
Okay.
But yeah, if that's one of the songs that I of course would recommend, but that's just because I'm a little bit biased. There's all the songs are great, I have to say.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
it's really difficult to pick. Again, I'm probably biased, but I really, really like this album. So I would definitely recommend listening to it because I'm most happy with myself vocally on this album. So I would always, of course, want to present that. Of course, it's not like I'm very proud of all the albums, but it's just, there's definitely a difference. And I felt like on this album, I was able to give much more vocally. And the way the whole thing came together, I think represents the band also very well. So
Yeah.
yeah, make sure to listen to it.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now we're nearly in the end. My last question, it's not a question because I wanted to give you your time, your few minutes if you want, to talk to your fans, to talk to everyone who can be watching this, to tell them to buy Mist of Fate, of course, and to tell them to go to see you. Now is your time, and we listen.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for the interview. It was a really my pleasure. It's such a privilege to be able to talk to so many people, talk about creative work you've done and the excitement, and now it's coming out, and also having so many videos coming out and seeing the reactions people have. And I just want to thank you everyone for still supporting us, and hopefully you really like this album and listen to it, get into it, and immerse yourself into all these crazy stories that are on the album. And then of course I really hope to see you live, because that's what we do best. So that will be the ultimate place to be. So really hope to see you there.
Thank you, Elina. It has been amazing for me. Thanks for being here. It has been a pleasure. And see you, of course, here in Barcelona. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I will be there.
Metal Warriors, nos vemos en la próxima.